Hello, 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 hello. Welcome this Thursday afternoon. Greetings to you all. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Welcome to this edition of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday, the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you don't have the app on Roku, just download BS3 TV. If not, you can go to BS3 Network.com or BS3TVLive.com. As you notice, no sponsor. Back up to it with advertised here. So, good afternoon, Miss Wanda. She attended the October 30th Houston Cougars men's basketball tip-off. She told me she enjoyed it a lot. Enjoyed Coach Sampson's roasting of his players. So I've heard it was always a good time had by all. Going to mention this if you haven't seen or heard about his injury. Let me see. Jacob McFarland, young Cougar big man. Rex, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. Thank you for your support, chiming in, your comments, taking time out of your lunch break to spend time with us here on the Takeover. Jacob McFarland, redshirt freshman for the Cougs, posted on Instagram on his story a picture of him in a hospital bed, saying surgery went well. So if you're wondering what in the world, what? Jacob participated, played in Sunday's charity exhibition game, Cougs and Aggies. Today's Thursday. He posted on Instagram Wednesday. So only leaves 2 days of when that could have happened, when his injury happened. Didn't happen in the scrimmage, in the exhibition game. I think the Cougs were off on Monday. So putting it all together, it had to happen Tuesday. I know more details, more specifics. Coach Sampson will have his Zoom call Friday, and I'll let him address more specifics of it. But I will just give you some crumbs. Typically, when a player, athlete, tears an ACL, anterior cruciate ligament injury, doctors allow, physicians, staff allow for swelling to go down. So it may be days before surgery takes place. Days, weeks, whatever, based on the person. Jacob's surgery happened Tuesday night. So the injury was bad enough, severe enough, that surgery was warranted immediately. Surgery was successful. He's in good spirits. I've heard two different thoughts on if he will return this season. His recovery, like I said, he's expected to make a full recovery. But his timetable for the recovery, I'd say, I'm not going to put a percentage on it. I'm not sure. I'm not a betting person. Goodness knows I've struggled in betting years ago, all that kind of stuff, fantasy football, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if he will play this season or receive a medical red shirt. I think that's kind of up to Jacob, his folks, coach, the staff, all of that. But he is in good spirits. The surgery was a success. The injury happened to his right leg. He'll begin rehab soon and all those. Yeah, I don't know how it goes. As I've gotten older, I no longer wish for folks who've had surgery to have a speedy recovery. I simply want them to have a healthy recovery. So in this case, with Jacob, I just want him to get well. I'm not concerned about how long it takes him to get well, how long it takes to recover. he'll just get well. That's all that matters. Rex asked this question. Coach Sampson said it Sunday after in the post-game press conference that Javier could have played against the Aggies. But as Coach Sampson said, it's an exhibition game, so why bother? So, barring a setback, Javier Francis should play in the season opener Monday, November 4th, when the Cougs host Jackson State. So it's just one of those things. And, the injury it's nagging. It's not severe to Jay. I don't believe it's chronic. It's just, in his case, it happened now. So it's good to happen now rather than in March. So he should play. I think he is expected. And again, I think Coach Sampson, I'll ask him to give a status update, health update tomorrow in his Zoom call Friday with the media tomorrow morning. And that should be posted on the Cougs YouTube channel soon thereafter around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And as I do lately, I post my question and Coach's answer to my question on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. So we'll see. 66 H-Town, thank you for chiming in. Question, can we pick up a big man in the transfer portal, or is it too late? Just another big for practice. Yeah, that's not an issue. Someone like that, as you mentioned here, Darius Bowser, in the simplest case, you can probably find a big man on campus or staff or someone to help out like that. But in terms of scholarships, all those are taken. They're maxed out. And the Cougs had 14 players on the roster. 5 weren't going to play anyway on a consistent basis. It's going to be a 9-man rotation, maybe 9, maybe 10. So quality-wise, there's nobody in the portal I would think that could come in at this late date. And he'd have to be a graduate to be content with not playing and just work out in practice. That's it. And how many folks are like that? It's not. It's a tough blow for Jacob McFarland, clearly. But it was just one of those things. It was like a freak injury, freak occurrence in practice. But it was severe enough that surgery was warranted ASAP. But surgery was successful. Javier Francis's injury, like I said, it's a nagging injury. It's nothing. It's not a knee. It's not back pain. It's nothing of that sort. As far as I think it's a groin issue. That takes, a couple weeks to heal. I'm not sure how long ago Javier suffered the injury initially. But Coach Sampson said on Sunday he could have participated in the scrimmage the charity game against the Aggies. So I think he'll play on November 4th against Jackson State. And if not, you still got JoJo Tugler, Juwan Roberts, Cedric Lott, Ramon Walker, Terrence Arsenault. You got enough. And then all the wings and guards that this team has. So it's tough for Jacob McFarland. And like I said, maybe Coach Sampson will say in his Zoom call on Friday that Jacob might come back this season at some point. There's a chance of that. I'm not sure at what point in the season, if it's December or January, and they decide, no, he's better off taking the medical red shirt and not playing at all. That may be the decision. Well, time will tell. Won't be an issue come Monday against Jackson State. No shade to Coach Mo Williams and his team, but it's not going to matter against Jackson State. But before a few minutes ago, let me see. That looks like he was. Yep. noon, 10 minutes ago, as has been scheduled all week, each day this week, the Basketball Hall of Fame, Hoop Hall, has announced the top 20 watch list by position for men's and women's basketball. And so let's see, what was it? Monday was the Bob Cousy Award. Tuesday was the Jerry West Award, shooting guard. Bob Cousy, point guard. Jerry West, shooting guard. Wednesday was the Julius Erving Small Forward Award. Well, today, high noon, Hoop Hall announced the watch list candidates for the Karl Malone Power Forward Award. And Houston's Juwan Roberts is among those 20 on the watch list. So that will add to this, and I'll get to all comments and everything in a moment. We'll add to this. LJ Cryer is on the National Association of Basketball Coaches Player of the Year preseason watch list. He's also on the Jerry West Shooting Guard of the Year watch list. LJ's also on the Naismith Trophy Men's College Player of the Year Award watch list. So was Juwan Roberts for the Naismith Trophy Award. So you can add to it based on what was just released. Juwan Roberts is also on the Karl Malone Award watch list that goes to the top power forward in men's college basketball. I am a voter on the women's side for the top point guard for the Nancy Lieberman, and the power forward Katrina McLean Award. And I'll have to see if that has been announced, but I'll vote on that. Yet that has been as well. So I'm a voter on those. A voter on the women's awards, and probably at some point we'll be a voter on the men's awards. But let's see. In addition to Juwan Roberts, just read it off. The Karl Malone Award candidates by school, alphabetical by school. Men's side: Grant Nelson, Alabama; Troy Townsend, Arizona; Janai Broom, Auburn; Norshad Omier, Baylor. He transferred from Miami to Baylor. Ian Schifflin, Clemson; Graham Ike, Gonzaga; Juwan Roberts; Will Riley, Illinois; Malik Renault, Indiana; Coleman Hawkins, Kansas State; Julian Reese, Maryland; Cade Tyson, North Carolina; Caden Pierce, Princeton; Bryce Hopkins, Providence; J.T. Toppin, Texas Tech; Donnie Freeman, Syracuse; Yaxel Lindenberg, UAB; Alex Caravan, UConn; Eric Dixon, Villanova; and last, the awesome name, Great Osobor, Washington. Yes, his first name is Great. He's from transferred from, was it Utah State? I think that's right, Utah State. So it's just another example of how far the program has come. Saw the question from Corey. I'm not sure about John Clark and where he's going. Corey, thank you for the question and taking time out of your lunchtime to join me. I haven't heard from any of my folks for a while there. He was kind of leaning toward Texas. He has some ties there. His AAU coach, I think, or part of the AAU program is TJ Ford. TJ Ford is a Longhorn legend. So I'm not sure if TJ will have how much sway TJ will have in John's decision. I did not see, and let me say this. At Sunday's exhibition, I keep saying exhibition, Sunday's charity scrimmage between the Cougs and the Aggies. Before the game started, I spoke with Isaiah Harwell briefly. He said, as you know, y'all have seen the interview that Isaiah did with me on the YouTube channel. Not watch it. His dad was part of it as well. Isaiah mentioned in that interview that he was hoping to attend the charity game. Well, he was there. He kept his word. He was there. While I was talking to Isaiah, Kingston Flemings came down the steps, walked to the court. He and Isaiah dapped up each other. I spoke to Kingston real quickly and introduced myself to him. He did to me. And I said to him jokingly, I know who you are. You don't know who I am. He gave nothing away about when he's going to make his decision, which way he was leaning. But he did ask about other Coug players, status of so-and-so, health-wise, how was Jay doing, things like that. As I sat down in the media section, Bryce Jackson and his folks walked in. So I spoke to all three of them. And Bryce, and I spoke to his dad. Also, we're trying to still hammer out details when I do an interview with Bryce, when Bryce has time to speak with me for an interview. Then, I want to say halftime or early second half, I saw who I thought was Chris Cenac. Big man. Did not see John Clark. So I'm not sure if John was there Sunday. I know Chris, I confirmed and verified that Chris Cenac was there. So that's Isaiah Harwell, has committed to the Cougs. Bryce Jackson has committed to the Cougs. Kingston Flemings attended a exhibition game, drove from San Antonio to come to a Cougs Aggies charity game. Chris Cenac, 6'9", 6'10", big man. He's not from here. Also attended the charity exhibition game. Afterwards, the folks telling me, they're like, man, Kingston's he's real close to the vest, man, he's keeping everything tight. I'm not sure which way he's leaning. So I'm not sure. But it's just no question, DPG, no doubt. No question. Same thing we said about Texas and John Clark. I mean, money will have a say. That's why I'm not sure which way everything's leaning. No one has got a strong sense one way or the other where these young men are going. It is not the case like Isaiah Harwell. I was told pretty much, it was a pretty much, I don't say guaranteed, but damn close to it. Like in early September, late August, that Isaiah Harwell was going to come to the Cougs. Like, I mean, it was no doubt. It was just me trying to keep it quiet and hinting at it on this show and on the channel. Like, I mean, I was expected almost that he was going to commit to the Cougs. I do not have that sense, that strong a vibe regarding Kingston Flemings. Kingston Flemings, it's either Texas or Houston with those guys. Chris Cenac, like I said, LSU with that bag, that's been reported. John Clark in Texas in that bag, it's been, rumored. So I'm not sure. That's why I haven't really wavered when I said weeks ago that I think the Cougs would get 2 of their top 6 wish list. And one of them, they already got Isaiah Harwell. The second one was not including Bryce Jackson. So of this second person was a top 50, top 100 kind of recruit. So they still have a shot at Kingston. They still have a shot at Chris. They still have a shot at John Clark. So I think they'll get one of those 3. I don't think they'll get 2. But they might. But it's interesting to me that you have as Rex stated, these young men coming to an exhibition game, making that trek to attend an exhibition game. We'll find out if that means something. It could have been a fact of, well, I'm here. My people were talking to some of your people. Let's figure this out. Well, we're not going to meet that price. Okay, well, I'm not coming here. It could be that. Heck, I don't know. No new info on Koa Peat. He does have some ties, connections with the program. He's friends with Isaiah Harwell. Isaiah Harwell's friends with a lot of these young men. So all I'm saying in a nutshell is I have not heard anything concrete regarding these young men like I was regarding Isaiah Harwell. Rex points out, I bet them seeing Mercy play is really convincing them. Could be. We shall see. Which brings me up to a point. Thank you, Rex. Last Thursday's show, TAKEOVER, I hinted at, discussed, mentioned, asked a question. Could Mercy Miller be part of the Cougs' 9-man rotation? Some folks were kind of slow on what I said. I know this platform is not huge. It's not, I'm not Stephen A. Smith. I don't have that kind of following. I'm not an influencer, none of that, millions and billions of followers, all that kind of stuff. Yet. But, folks, when I say stuff on here, I know what I'm talking about. Okay? I know what I see. I know what folks tell me. I know what I've been told or what I've heard. I don't say everything on here because I'm asked to keep it off the record or keep it a secret or all those things. But when I say something, there is legitimacy to what I say. And Mercy Miller in Sunday's charity game did what I said his issues were. He still lost on defense. Y'all saw it. He struggled with the ball in his hands, bringing up the floor. Saw that too. You saw Coach Sampson make an adjustment, took him off the ball. But you also saw the flashes of his offensive skills. You saw him attack the basket, turn it over. He went too deep and turned it over instead of kicking it out. He missed free throws. But you still saw his overall game and the reasons for optimism that he can be a part of the 9-man rotation this season. So I'm just going to keep saying that. And he's going to play this year. It's up to him how much he will play. And how much will be based on his defense. And when I say that, I'm trying to do this. I have to toot my own horn. Okay, I'm not being arrogant. I'm too old to be arrogant. But I'm also letting you all know I've been doing this 30 years. I have the respect of a lot of folks. There are colleagues who have not been around as long as me. I'm not throwing shade at them. They do good work too. But folks, give me some credit for what I do as well. All right? That's what I'm trying to get across to. Give me credit for what I do as well. I spoke to the Aggies PR people. I think who was it? Rex, was it you last week or CA? Asked me if I cover the Aggies. Yep. I let them know that I'll be at Reed Arena a few times this season. Happy to have you, Kris. Come on down when you can. Same thing with Texas. I have earned that respect. Okay, I have put that work in. I have earned that respect. No. A lot of these injuries are they're just freak injuries. I mean, you roll an ankle, you step on someone's foot. That's not based on practice. The bubble drill that the Cougs have done for years, they go at it. It's just a tough break. We're not you're dealing with soft tissue injuries, hamstrings, groins. That really had nothing to do with how hard they practice. Jamal Shed, stepped on a Duke player's foot. That's not based on how the Cougs practice. That happened in the game. It's just one of those things. As T.I. says, that's sports. yes, as a proud UH alum, it seems like a black cloud, an injury cloud hangs over the program. Yes. Yeah, I understand that. And it's frustrating. Oh, I understand that too. I understand that too. Trust me. Thank you, Rex, for saying that. Yeah. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you tuning in. I do. I really do. Thank you very much. And it's and we could argue, we could quibble about bad luck and what the cause of it is. I mean, hell, I go back, was it that dark day in April when things happened? I still see the highlight of that coach running around the court looking for someone to hug. And I cry like a baby, and it still bothers me to this day, haunts me, all that. Yeah, I go back. I'm a Coug from 40 plus years. Oh, yeah. One day, that's why I say this. One day, I do believe it's going to happen. I'm not sure when, because if I knew when, I'd put money on it. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I do believe one day the Houston Cougars men's basketball team will win that national championship. I do believe that. CBS Sports' Matt Norlander and David Cobb also agree with that. But they say that's what happened this year. CBS Sports, their college basketball writers, men's writers, did their predictions for this season, posted it today. And those two men, Matt Norlander and David Cobb, picked the Cougs to win it all. Gary Parrish picked the Cougs to be runner-up, but lose to Kansas in the title game. Wouldn't that be something? Kansas and Houston, two Big 12 teams competing for the championship. Boy, Brett Yormark he would lose. He would just be unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, he would just be cheesing forever. Just granted, if that happened. But let me see. Quickly, Gary Parrish, Kansas, his final four. Kansas, Houston, Alabama, Duke. Norlander, Houston, Arizona, Alabama, UConn. Kyle Boone, UConn, Kansas, Duke, Illinois. David Cobb, Houston, Alabama, UConn, Iowa State. Cameron Salerno, Alabama, Duke, UCLA, Baylor. Jerry Palm, UConn, Alabama, Duke, Houston. Isaac Trotter, Gonzaga, Alabama, Duke, Tennessee. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 folks made predictions. There's at least one Big 12 team among that Final Four on 5 of those 7. Is that right? Something like that, I think. Oh, boy. So I'm looking forward to basketball starting Monday, November 4th. There's so much. There are high expectations for the conference, for the Cougs, for the conference. And hey, I know the Big East UConn fans and coaches will take shots at the Big 12 for claiming to be the best conference in men's basketball, even though the numbers back it up. They do. Yes, UConn won the last 2 titles. We all know that. That's obvious. And every conference does this. They put the spin on it to benefit them. If your conference, if you send the most teams to the tournament, whatever it is, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you hang your hat on that if none of those teams get to the Final Four. Well, we had the most teams in the tournament. We sent the most teams in the tournament. If you send 5 teams to the tournament on the power conferences, not a lot, but you have 1 or 2 get to the Final Four, well, we sent 2 to the Final Four. What does that conference do that is so-called the best? It's all about your perspective. It's all about what you want to, how it impacts you and how you benefit from the promotion of it. But This is an interesting question. How many times will KU and Houston play this year? 4 is the max, right? Yeah, 4. 2 regular season Big 12, third time in the Big 12 tournament, and then the 4th time in the NCAA tournament. That'd be fun to see if it happens. Heck, it wouldn't shock me if Houston Iowa State played 3 or 4 times this season. Baylor could meet the Cougs in the Final Four. I've said it previous shows. I mentioned it on Let's Rage Coogs. This UH men's team, they're going for it this season. Twan Roberts coming back because he believes this team has a great chance to win the national championship. He has surgery on his knee off season. Feels great. LJ Cryer, surgery on his foot again. LJ's had at least three surgeries on his feet. 2 on one foot, 1 on the other. He feels good. Made 6 threes on Sunday. Could play the Aggies. Great point. There's so much. There is parity in college basketball, men's college basketball. Parity is growing on women's side. Not as deep as it is on men's side, but it's growing. It's getting better. And T.I. says this. I was going to say this. It's one and done in the tournament. It's not a series. So this year's Coug team, if they're healthy, stay healthy in March, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying this is the hypothetical. There are not too many teams that could beat the Cougs in a series. 3 out of 5, 4 out of 7. But that's not how college hoops works. It's one and done. You get one shot at that opponent. Hopefully you have a better game than your opponent, and you just move on in advance. That's the hope, CA, that the surgery resolves the swelling issues. That's the hope. I think that's what it was supposed to correct. And Juan he just very hush-hush about specifics on the surgeries. So even if I talk to him off the record, he just won't give me any details about all that kind of stuff. He just won't. I've already gone past it, bottom of the hour, but I want to play the promo spot for BS3 Network. So folks who are new to the show, new to the channel, new to the platform, welcome. Give you an idea of what the BS3 Network is all about. Be back in 35 seconds. You're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday edition, powered by JM&E. Once again, looking for a sponsor of this show. So if you want to email me, get some more info and advertising on the show, joining the newly created Houston Roundball Review business directory, $50. $50 for the rest of this year through 2025. $50. I reach a lot of folks. $50. New logo. You can email me. Advertise at thehrr.com. Advertise at thehrr.com. THEHRR.com. The new logo was launched on the homepage of the website, as well as on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. And new merch launched today, like an hour ago, on the website, the Bonfire website. You go to the Houston Roundball Review.com homepage. See the links. See the new hoodies, zip-up hoodies, short sleeve shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. I know it's not cool here. It's cool somewhere in the world, somewhere in the country. So get you a hoodie or get you a short sleeve shirt with that new Houston Roundball Review logo. I showed the slides of it. Here's some more info about the honors for LJ and Juwan Roberts. Houston graduate guard LJ Cryer and graduate forward Juwan Roberts received more preseason awards when they were named to the Naismith Trophy Player of the Year award watch list. Cryer was also one of 20 student athletes from all NCAA Division I schools to be named to the National Association of Basketball Coaches NABC Player of the Year preseason watch list. Earlier this week, Cryer earned a place on the Jerry West Shooting Guard of the Year top 20 preseason watch list. He also was named a preseason All-America fourth team selection by Blue Ribbon College Yearbook and joined Roberts on the preseason All Big 12 Conference first team. Houston was one of 8 schools with multiple student athletes on the watch list. 20 Rutgers 2, Duke 2, Gonzaga 2, UConn 2, Alabama 2, and Big 12 conference rivals Kansas and Baylor, who have 3 each. So if you're joining me, you missed at the top of the show. I touched on a little bit, some info regarding Houston Jacob McFarland, redshirt freshman, had surgery, successful surgery on Tuesday night on his right leg. The injury he suffered in practice Tuesday was severe enough that surgery was warranted ASAP. Okay? Typically, that does not mean a torn ACL. Torn ACLs, okay, perhaps even Achilles. Doctors want the injury, the knee, the trauma to the body part to swell. That means to stop swelling to go down. So I'm telling you, I'm giving you hints. That's not what the injury was to Jacob. Okay, his injury it looked bad. That's what I was told. It looked bad. But the surgery was a success. He's expected to make a healthy recovery. There is a chance that he does play later this season. However, I would not be shocked if Jacob McFarland receives a medical red shirt. That's probably up to Jacob and his people, first and foremost. Jacob being a competitor, once he gets cleared, he probably wants to play this season. So we shall see. But the injury was bad enough, severe enough to warrant surgery that same day, within hours of the injury. Coach Sampson has his Zoom call Friday morning. So November 1st, I'll ask him, if my colleague Zone, to address the injury status of some of the players, including Jacob. And Coach Sampson could probably provide more details. The injury, yes, I know more specifics of the injury, but I'm not going to say that here. I'm going to leave that for Jacob to say, Coach Sampson to say. But it was to his right leg, and it was bad. But the surgery was a success, and that's the important thing for him. And again, I'm not one of those anymore. I don't wish him a speedy recovery. I wish Jacob a healthy recovery. All right, Rocket fans, if you're tuning in, give me your thoughts on the Rockets 2-2 start. Steven Adams makes a difference, clearly, because he sets screens. He's a great screen setter. He is a great rebounder on the O boards and defensive boards. He is a rim protector. And, man, when Steven Adams doesn't play, the Rockets, combined with the Rockets' blasé attitude on defense on the perimeter, sometimes the points in the paint, it's like a pickup game. It's like an all-star game. Just like they're just escorting their opponents to get to the hoop. Just go ahead. You get the leg. Go ahead, man. Drive on past me. No one gonna stop you. I mean, ooh, man. 30, 40 points and a half in the paint. That's embarrassing. That's a pride thing. Lack of pride, lack of working hard, lack of busting your butt. Defense is effort. First and foremost, you have to want to play defense, period. So what's going to happen with the Rockets tonight, the Mavs? Texans play as well. I think the Texans game is first, right? Kickoff at 7. Rockets, Mavs at 7:30. Texans game is on Amazon Prime, but also the local, Fox affiliate, I think. And then the Rockets tip off from Little D at 7:30. Cougs football host K-State this Saturday, 2:30. Game on Fox, Big Fox. Weather may not be ideal. Still, Coug fans, let's go to the game. Let's support Coach Fritz and the players. It's on us to start filling up the stadium. It is important to the players, to the high school recruits, but the players as well, to play in front of packed crowds, packed houses. That's important. Packed stadiums, packed arenas. That's important to them. They notice it. They notice it. I've talked to players who've said one of the reasons that they have transferred from school A to school B is because school B has better crowds than school A. Better home court advantage, better home field advantage. It's important. Be at the game. K-State is favored by 13.5. Tran, long time no see, man. How you doing? T.I., which Cougs team will show up in football this Saturday? K-State is a better team on paper than the Cougs, no question. Prior to the season, many of us thought Utah on paper was a better team than the Cougs. Then Utah's quarterback situation went to crap. Their offense went to crap. And the Cougs' offensive line just ran the ball down Utah's throat. Beat Utah at their own game. Just out Utah. Well, will Coach Fritz and the squad out K-State on Saturday afternoon? I doubt it. But will K-State cover the 13.5? Which way are you leaning on that one? K-State, I mean, they need to win. They cannot afford to stub their toe. Will K-State cover? What do y'all say about that? Because I'm not, I would be shocked if the Cougs offensive line dominates K-State's defensive line. That'd be a pleasant shock to me. But Utah is going through the motions. I think the young man is like, let's get this season over with. K-State has something to play for. So it's different. Hopefully the play calling for the Cougs in the red zone is better than it was last Saturday against Utah. Because, oh my gosh, that was awful play calling. Piss poor execution. Tran going, Tran, your score is way too high. Because I don't see the Cougs scoring 28 against K-State. And I hope K-State doesn't score 56. Woo, boy, I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't see them scoring 28. But hopefully first the Cougs get red zone chances, because I'm not sure how many they'll get against K-State. And then if they do get some, that they do capitalize on them with better execution and better play calling. Boy. And just an aside for everyone watching today's show, Coach Yanez, has his first game of the high school season Saturday afternoon, so he won't be able to join me, Dayon, and Bryce for the Let's Rage Coogs post-game show, sponsored by Steve Saxenian and the Saxenian family. Based on how long the game ends, I may be here before going to the Rockets-Warriors game or be at the Rockets-Warriors game doing my part of the Let's Rage Coogs show. So now that we're in toward the end of college football season and beginning of college basketball season and high school basketball, Coach Yanez's case, we're going to have to do some juggling. Monday, I'm not sure if I'll be at Monday's game because I'm working the election on Tuesday all day, like 16, 18 hours. So I'm not sure if I'll be at Monday's game. So it may be rotating of what we can do for post-game shows on Let's Rage Coogs on Saturday and on Monday. But we shall see. Just subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Click on that bell so you can receive notifications of when new shows are posted. Mr. Tran, not sure you saw this, so I'm going to bring it up for you again for folks who missed it. New logo for the Houston Roundball Review. Check it out. I like it. It's on new merch launch that happened earlier today as well, getting time for college basketball season. November 4th. It's here. Hoops is here. So support the Houston Roundball Review. A lot of different ways to support the Roundball Review. The super chats, the super stickers, the Roundball Review merch, the hoodies, short sleeve shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, mugs. This is the original mug, original design. I'll be getting the mug with the new logo as well. It's a lot of different ways to support the Roundball Review. Merch-wise, super chat-wise, super sticker-wise, advertising-wise. If you want to do advertising on this show, on all the videos that I ask questions from coaches and players, all those different things, email me. Once again, advertise at thehrr.com. I talked about the injuries to the UH men's team. The UH women's team is dealing with injuries, season-ending injuries. First to Malia Johnson. She tore her ACL. Well, it wasn't really announced, but it was an ACL. That was, early September, mid-September? And then this past Sunday, what was that? 23rd, 16th? Kateri Poole suffered a season-ending knee injury in the Cougs scrimmage, and she's out for the season. So that's two big blows to Coach Hughey's staff, Coach Hughey's team. Terry got injured on the 20th. So they're down to, my goodness, 10 players? 10 healthy players, maybe, I think. They were already picked to finish last in the Big 12 this season. Injuries to two key people does not help. Getting Gigi Cook back from injury last season should help. But I just don't know. I don't believe the team has enough healthy players now to compete successfully in the conference. We'll see. Their season starts Tuesday, November 5th, when they host, I believe it's UTRGV. I think that's right, UTRGV. Yep. And fans can bring in their voting sticker and get in free for that game Tuesday between the Houston Cougars women's team and UTRGV. November 4th, UH men's team host Jackson State. The Rockets host the Knicks. And the Rice women's team hosts a good, very good NCAA tournament team from last year, a good program in South Dakota State. Coach Lindsey Edmonds, Rice head coach, is going to be ring ceremony for the Rice Isle women's team. They're going to raise a championship, a tournament banner, an AAC tournament banner, championship banner as well on Monday, but she did not start the season with a cupcake. South Dakota State is the real deal. But Coach Edmonds has high expectations for her Rice Owls this season, and she expects her veteran squad to meet or exceed those expectations. And it starts on November 4th. We shall see. And Rex says regarding the women's team, Coach Hughey, his last chance to keep his job, he's done. He's done. Yeah, the injuries don't help. But yeah, if they make the tournament, and it's still injuries aside, two key people, Malia Johnson, Chery Poole, they were expected to be key contributors to this season's team. Even with them healthy, it was still going to be difficult for them to make the tournament because the Big 12 is no joke. Women's side, Big 12 has 4 of the top 16 teams in the country. And Houston's not one of those 4. And no, CA, I'm professional. I took time to speak with Coach Hughey. Coach Hughey took time to talk to me at Big 12 Media Day and also at the UH Media Day as well. Got to be professional. If I am going to be critical of a coach on these shows, then to me, I should also be there in person to talk to them. I'm not just hiding behind the show. I don't like folks in media who do that. They just throw shots at coaches and players on their shows, on their platforms, but then never show up at a press conference. That's weak. That's cowardly. That ain't me. I don't do that. That's not me. There's no disrespect to Coach Hughey. He's been here 11 years. This is his 11th season. 0 trip to the tournament. That's all I'm saying. And Houston women's hoops is an afterthought in the state, on the national landscape. It's an afterthought. The Athletic did a part of their preseason look at women's hoops. Coaches on the hot seat at their programs. Carol Lawson at Duke, her seat is warm. What she's done at Duke compared to what Coach Hughey's done at Houston, almost every coach mentioned in that article has had success at their program. And by success, I mean getting to the tournament at least once. At least, some of them Sweet 16, but some have not gotten to the Elite 8, Final 4, etc. Unfortunately, Coach Hughey hasn't even done that. Year 11. Year 11. Not personal. I hope, this is me talking, I'm not speaking for Eddie Nunez, the recently hired, 2 months now, hired new AD at Houston. I hope the injuries to Malia Johnson and Chery Poole don't change Mr. Nunez's viewpoint and say, well, Coach Hughey, he had some tough luck this year. He had injuries to key people, so I'm going to bring him back for another season. No. Please don't do that. Don't do that. No. Don't do no. Don't do that. I forgot her name, and I feel bad about it. But a young lady from the Sci-Fair Elite program, Sci-Fair, Houston area, class of 2025, committed, announced her choice to go to South Carolina. Let me see. Yes, here we go. Ayla McDowell, Sci-Fair Elite. This area, She plays ball at Side Springs High School. I know what Side Springs High School is. She chose South Carolina. She chose the Gamecocks over. Here are her other choices: LSU, Florida, Georgia Tech, and Mississippi State. Excuse me, TCU as well. Forgot them. TCU, LSU, Florida, Georgia Tech, and Mississippi State. So she goes to Side Springs High School. I believe she's an AAU teammate of Aaliyah Chavez, the #1 player in the class of 25. Elite players don't even consider Houston. That has to change. Houston women's basketball. That has to change. That has to change in order for Houston women's hoops to become relevant on the national landscape. That has to change. I think it's time for a change. Y'all know how I feel about the program, about women's basketball. I'm one of the few folks in town that cover women's basketball and enjoy doing it. And very quickly, women's hoops. Madison Booker, Texas Longhorns, is on the watch list for the Cheryl Miller Small Forward Award, which she won last year as a freshman. Teammate Layla Filia is on the Ann Meyers-Drysdale Shooting Guard Award watch list. Longhorn. Transfer from Michigan. Roy Harmon from Houston, another Longhorn, is on the Nancy Liebman Point Guard watch list. So 3 Longhorns are nominated for Player of the Year watch list awards. Aggies. Aycha Coulibaly is also on the Small Forward Cheryl Miller Award watch list. Aggies. Baylor. Sarah Andrews is on the Ann Meyers-Drysdale Award preseason watch list. Shooting guard. There's 3 schools here in the state. I didn't name one Coug. Didn't name Rice out either, honestly, but still, you get the idea. Aggies, Longhorns, Baylor. TCU has some players on the watch list. I hope to be in Fort Worth for that game against South Carolina in December. Houston women's basketball needs to do its part to start carrying this weight. And this is a miracle. Rex is correct. Final moments of this show. The Houston Cougars women's team is a Jordan Brand school. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me on that one. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But everyone, thank you for chiming in to today's show. Today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Let's see if I can get this before I shut it down. Salute to everyone for taking time to give me comments. Let's see. Salute to everyone. Reminder, the new logo for the Houston Roundball Review, get you some merch, get you a shirt, hoodie, long sleeve shirt, mug. Support the Houston Roundball Review with a super chat, super sticker. Advertise on the show, advertising on the website. Be a part of the new HRR business directory. One more time, $50 through 2025. $50 to support the Houston Roundball Review. That'll do it for me. I'm KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Subscribe to this channel, support the show, and keep this in mind. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.